So Quayba is a singer-songwriter, performer. I love music and I'm very passionate about it. I believe that music is a channel for change, a channel for honest expression, and a channel to basically impact people's lives. And that's what I seek to do with my music. I think that what makes what I do different is the depth of honesty that I put to my work. Because for me, I almost feel this responsibility to tell the Ghanaian story, if I should put it that way, but just to make it as relevant and as enjoyable by my age group or people of this generation. At the same time, maintaining that sense of old soul, because that's who I am. So it all started when I was 4 years old. I wrote my first song, and I was so excited about it that I shared it with, everyone around, my sisters, and everyone loved it, and everyone was singing it. So I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do this after all. But then after a couple of years, I didn't really do much until I started writing again. And once again, the response was really good. So actually, writing came before singing. So that's an interesting part of it all. I always thought at the back of my mind that one day I'll be able to sing my songs, but as at that time, my voice hadn't really come out yet. So I think right about when I got into JSS, Junior Secondary School, I think I was about 12, thereabout, yeah. And once again, I started writing again, but this time I was singing. And I had some friends who also wrote and sang as well. So we had this plan of, being like this Destiny's Child thing, but, it didn't really pan out the way we expected. But yeah, it was fun. It took some years and some training. But I eventually got into full-time singing and writing. So yeah, I did a couple of, I would do gigs, go to a couple of lounges and pubs and stuff like that, just to get people to hear me. And I eventually grew from then on to actually work on my own stuff. But along the way, I've worked with several bands. I've worked with quite a number of people in the industry. And it has really informed who I am today as an artist. And I believe that I'm still growing. I've loved music for as long as I've known. But I didn't really think I had anything special, okay? For me, it began with a passion and the love for the art form. So after I started writing and then the response was good, I was like, okay, maybe I can be more than just an avid listener of music. I can actually be part of the whole creation process. So I eventually grew on from that point. So I can remember as far back as around like 4 or 5, my big sisters, I had bigger sisters, so they would invite friends over and then they'll play this, music and they'll, just be jamming and having fun. And I was so small that, of course, they wouldn't want me around, that kind of thing. They'll usually be sending me and, But I always enjoyed being there. Even if they would send me, I just loved being in their midst and just vibing with their music. And I remember they would listen to a lot of Michael Jacksons and the Whitneys and the Mariahs. And then, a bit of R&B and that kind of stuff. So I fell in love. I fell in love with pop, actually. I fell in love with pop music at that early age. But as I grew older, I had other influences. I found myself getting drawn to more to powerful singers, to female powerful singers, to be specific. And I loved Whitney and I loved Celine Dion because of how big their voices were and how they were able to just express emotion in such a enjoyable way. So yes, those were my earliest influences: Celine, and then Whitney, and then Mariah as well. But as I grew older, I had other influences as well. I found myself listening to a lot of alternative stuff. Had bits of rock, bits of R&B, bits of funk. So I was listening to literally everybody and everything I could find my ears, could chance upon. I was listening to boy bands, the Backstreets and the NSYNCs. I found myself listening to just, parts of different artists. But the ones that really impressed on my singing and my whole music would be of course the Whitneys, the Celines. Along the way, I was introduced to Afrobeat, right? Not the Afrobeats that we know today, Afrobeat, the one that Fela is known for. And I don't know, I was just really drawn to that type of music. So I found myself listening to a lot of Afrobeat music, and Afro-funk, During that era, they used to make a lot of like funk music. I love funk music, by the way. So I just loved how they could interpret it in an Afro style. And I find myself being heavily influenced by that type of music. And yes, a lot of high life as well. I love high life. I love my Pat Thomas, my Papa Yankson, my Rexoma, Kodrenchi, and Daddy Lumba. Don't tell anybody I said. So yeah, that's it. In recent times, I found myself listening to a lot of like alternative stuff. So you find me listening to like SZA, to that Caesar guy. There's another Caesar guy, right? Daniel Caesar, yeah. Amel Laurier, I don't know if, yeah. Just these, neo type of music. I like to think myself, first of all, as I'm a musician, okay? I make music. It's as simple as that. So I could, switch between genres and styles at any point in time. But I feel like what sums up most of what I do is Afro soul. I describe my music as Afro soul. As I mentioned earlier, soul is always at the center of everything that I do. But Afro soul with spots of contemporary high life, bits of hip hop here and there, and then just a mixture. I love cocktails. So my style is Afro soul and a beautiful cocktail of high life, rock, funk, pop, you name it. So okay, so this is how I believe my creative process begins. I consider myself like this life sponge, or experience sponge. So I'm always sponging off like experiences and things that I encounter in life. So, and then I pull all these experiences into like what I call like a lyrical pool. Okay. So from time to time, I could like feel like I could feel like I need to write a song. And then I draw from that lyrical pool and then I write a song, right? But there are times that songs come to me. It's hard to explain these things, but I could be there and I could literally hear music playing in my ear. Or I could feel a certain kind of heaviness within me that I need to write a song, and then I find myself writing a song. But not everything that I write about is about my own personal experiences. I like to get inspired by others as well, and I like to put the experiences into my music. I'll find myself even writing before I even know what I'm writing, and then it becomes a song, okay? And of course, there are times that, okay, someone will send you a beat that you vibe with, and then you find yourself writing, something to the beat. So there are different processes that I use in creating whatever music that I create. But usually you'd find me with a notepad. I am very traditional in that sense. I have my notepad and my pen. I'm just writing stuff. We could be having a conversation, we could be vibing, something could be happening, remotely. And then I'll just, like write down points. Or I could hear something on TV and then I'll just write a note. And then, I put all of that into like a lyrical pool. And then I tap into that from time to time to create music.